All right, so today, what we're gonna do today is, it's so cold outside. It is so cold outside. We have 2 heaters running in the shop. There's still smoke in here, but we're not in the wind, right? So I need to do a top end. This is Colins' new old race bike. This is a 2018 motorcycle. Probably only has about 15 or 18 hours on it. It's going to be actually the first top end, the first pulling it apart, a first of everything on this bike. I'm going to pull the gas tank off, and you're going to see how spotless it is. Plus the frame itself is super clean. We've rode a couple of races. We did the Blue Crew race with it. We did the Christmas race at Monster with it. And now it's time to tear it down. We're gonna do a Vertex top end kit to it. I got a B piston because the cylinder says it's a B cylinder. So I wanted to, knowing that the amount of hours that's on it, I'm sure that piston will be perfectly fine in it. We did our last time that we rode this bike. We rode for probably about 10 minutes on the air filter, and if you remember from our last episode about air filters, that's a 10-minute air filter.
That's insane.
That's not even a half a tank of gasoline, and that's what it looks like. It's completely clogged everything. This bike has been sitting for a couple of weeks now, so I found the twin air bonnets that'll go over top of that. When we do the top end, I take the subframe off, I clean everything. I started using a little piece of air filter material, this green stuff here. I put this down in the bottom where all the oil and the gunk collects. I put this in there, and that stops the sand and dirt from coming from underneath, but yet it still allows it to breathe. I do the same thing with that. I lubricate it and put it in just like it's an air filter. So let's get started with this, pulling it apart, checking it out. Let's get the gas tank off. So this was another thing that I found once I pulled the gas tank, flipped up the subframe, moved the carburetor out of the way. This is a problem that a lot of dirt bikes, 2-strokes, have, that are vibrating and over revving. So you notice all the oil around the spark plug hole. So I was losing a lot of compression there, and the bike was still very fast. So this is going to be a very fast motorcycle, one way or the other. But when I put the DRT head on there, I don't know how Colin's going to hold on to it. It's going to be really fast. That cylinder head made a big difference. The factory cylinder heads are good. They are a low compression motor though. So they're limited, you know. They're meant to run 93 octane. I don't know how anybody runs 93 octane in them if you're really, really fast. Just blows them apart. So you take it, you bend the solder, you take the solder, you twist it down into the cylinder, and I know what it feels like. I'm touching the cylinder on your side. I'm touching the cylinder wall, and I push down on the piston, and it walks itself up, and I already did it. So it's already squished. It's gonna tell me what it is. So, I have my caliper right there. So then I take my caliper. It's so cold out. It's so cold out. You see the numbers barely are showing up. It's so cold. So, I'm at 80. Yeah, I'm about 80 thousandths. Okay, 80 thousandths is pretty good for a stock motor, that's for sure. So far with the YZs, I've noticed that they're all pretty close to 100. 97, 103. 6, 7! My other motor never even touched that solder. So this one here, no wonder why it was a little faster, right? Mass-produced motor, a little bit different here or there. It's not a hand-built motor by an individual every time. They're mass-produced cylinders, mass-produced cylinder heads, all that stuff. Let's go ahead, and we know what the squish is now, so let's go ahead and we'll pop the head and you'll see the piston for the first time. To the starting gate in the woods. Go. Somebody put this together and it's never been off. Let's see if we can get this off. So this is a pet peeve of mine. Really, Yamaha, you couldn't figure this out better. Watch this. Cylinder head all the way up. They notched the frame. They notched the frame right there, and the cylinder has a notch in it. Yet, when I go to pull the head off, you cannot get it off. It doesn't clear the frame. I've tried, and I've tried. I haven't figured out how I'm supposed to get that cylinder head off.
Leave it down in the comments below if you know how.
If you know how, especially, should I heat up the frame, bend it up 2 inches? Or should I do what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna grind the aluminum right here with my grinder so that I can get the head off? Either that, or I gotta pull all the studs, right? So how much sense does that make? All they had to do was trim this down a little bit more and the head comes right off, but they didn't. So you just grind the top of it a little bit. I'll trim it and make it look pretty on the workbench. Right now, you can see I can just barely get it off.
That's crazy.
It's just nuts. That piston right there was put in place, and this cylinder head was put in place in 2018. So we're talking 8 years ago, right? 6, 7, 8. Yep. So 8 years ago, this motor was assembled. This is the first time that it's coming apart. It's just crazy. Very durable motors, but you can see the bike is running perfect. It's just absolutely a really good running motor. So pretty happy with everything. I'll clean this up. I'll clean all this junk off there. I'll make sure everything's clean. The combustion chamber has a good amount of carbon on it. I'll clean that up a little bit with a wire brush. But until we put the DRT head on there, I just can't even, I don't know how he's going to ride it. I rode this bike once. I couldn't keep the front end down on it. It was just scary.
This is his race bike too, huh?
This is the race bike.
Are y'all taking this to Echoconee?
This is the bike that's going to Echoconee. We're going to have 2 different gearing setups to decide on what sprockets we want to run there. But as far as right now, this is literally bone stock gearing, bone stock motor. I think that's the original chain on the bike, the original sprocket on the bike. It's getting a new one for Echoconee. We're going there with a brand new paddle tire, brand new front tire. The front tire from 2018 is starting to crack on the sidewalls. Go figure. A Dunlop that's 8 years old is starting to get some cracks in it. We're gonna change it out. We're gonna put a paddle on the rear because Echoconee's a big sand track. So let's finish up pulling this apart. Exhaust off. There we go. FMF. That's my first FMF we've ever used. I'm a pro circuit guy, but Colin likes the way this one sounds. It's really a good sounding bike. I don't know if he notices a performance difference. We're experimenting with performance, so it's all over the place, right? Marking there, it's a B cylinder. So they have A's and B's. I think if it's not marked, it's considered an A cylinder. This one is a B cylinder.
What's the difference?
Probably about 0.002 of a millimeter as far as the cylinder bore goes. So you have an A piston, which is, I forget what it is on these. The B piston is like a 95. The A piston is a 94, meaning a fraction of a millimeter. Since I'm in America, I checked the squish in American fractions, which is 90 thousandths. But when it comes to doing internal parts, everything's done metric. So it's like, I forget what these are, 64.94 or something like that. So we'll see once we pull it out of the kit. Just checking our power valve, making sure the springs are working nice, everything feels good. He wants to buy a cylinder.
What is that, like hot spots in there?
So the 250, a 125 takes a lot of pressure to pull the crank apart. The 250s, they actually heat it from the factory. Notice both of those are perfectly matched as far as where they're heated and everything, just so that they can press that pin back into the crank itself. I have a press here, but it would take a 20-ton press with a lot of pressure just to get that to push that pin out. It's just not worth it. I'll send it off and get it done. Then when I build this motor for real, as long as we continue to keep going faster and better and everything, I'll get this motor will be the one that I actually get done. I'm gonna have the crank balanced and trued and like do a really top-notch job to this motor, probably once we get about the 40 or 50 hour mark. Take out the wrist pin bearing, everything looks good. Just exactly what I expected it to look like. Everything looks, it's in really good shape. The rod is in really good shape. Everything is in really good shape. We'll clean all this up, put the both collars on it, new gaskets, all that stuff. This motor is perfectly fine. We'll be good to go. Little we do a quick hone job with not a ball hone. You use a stone hone. So these long stones, when they go around in the cylinder, they don't go inside the ports. If you use a ball hone, which is what I see so many people on the internet doing, what happens is your intake ports, your exhaust ports, any of the ports in there, the little ball on the ball hones, there's like 100 or whatever there is, they wind up going in there and they can crack the Nickel in the porthole. Whereas when you use a stone hone, it is just like the piston going up and down inside there. And you're not trying to bore the cylinder or anything like that. Nickel is a lot stronger than that stone is that's on there. What you're looking to do is just sort of give it a quick scratching, if you want to call it that. Just cleaning it up. What I use it for is if I see somebody's that's not taking care of their air filter, you'll see lines going up and down in the cylinder, whereas you can tell by this one there's no sand has been in this motor, which is really good, really good. I'm really happy with the way this cylinder looks. I've seen some real nightmares, top end jobs that I've done for people, and you hone them out, you hone them out, you hone them out, and you get it to the point where it's just, and you can see where the grains of sand have passed from the intake all the way into the port, up and down the cylinder, out the exhaust port. I mean, there's just a lot going on there. This cylinder is exactly what I thought I was going to see. And then I do a quick fitment with the new piston. Lubricate the cylinder down. Make sure that, so when we were talking about the size of the piston, this is a 6635. This is a B piston, so a 6634 is a stock and A piston. So you're talking 1/100th of a millimeter different, which is not big, but it is. It's a, you know, it makes a difference. So that piston absolutely fits absolutely perfect. It's not falling in and out, but there is no play up and down or anything like that. I like it to just slide in, slide right through. There's no piston ring on there, so it's just a matter of it just going in and out, nice and smooth and easy. You can't beat the way that one's fitting. It fits perfect. They are. I can't believe this. You know, I can believe this. This is exactly what you would expect to see. So basically, we're taking apart and putting back together a brand new motor, because it has no hours on it. Those reeds look like they were brand spanking new. They're factory reeds, and the factory reeds in the YZ250 are pretty damn good. I bought a set of the high dollar fancy reeds, the X model reeds, and quite honestly, they were already starting to look a little bit fragmented at the ends and stuff like that. Not looking the greatest, so I bought another set of reeds for them, and these stock reeds look just fine. I might be going back to regular stock reeds. I do have the spare set, so I might, if I don't notice a performance difference, or Colin doesn't notice it, leave it alone. If it's dependable, these reeds are very dependable.
You're just lubricating it?
That is it. I overfilled it a little. I can't even feel my fingers, so
It's a little cold.
it's a little chilly. We have two heaters going on in here. Alabama is not known for its snowstorms and ice storms. It is certainly pretty damn cold here. I don't have one of those fancy dancy little snap ring tools, and the bigger we get with the motors, the easier these snap rings go in. The little 50s are a nightmare. The 85s and the super minis were a little easier. Well, these 250s, if you look at the size of that snap ring, it's almost the size of a coat hanger, so they're pretty easy to get into the piston. So I use my Harbor Freight little needle nose on there, and we have no problems with it. Yep, that looks pretty darn good. I'm okay with that. I usually slip a feeler gauge in there. The TMs, I had to, all our TMs, you have to grind the end of the rings. These bikes here, a lot of the Austrian bikes, I put them in there. As long as it's about 12 thousandths of a millimeter, I'm good with that, and those look perfectly fine. 2 strokes, hours, the arrow always goes to the exhaust port. And rotate. I like putting the gap on the snap ring at the top of the piston. I always make sure that it's at the top of the piston. This is my first time using the Vertex kit. So you have your factory base gasket. I think this is about 75 thousandths, 0 millimeters, 62 thousandths of a millimeter. That's already used. Let's see what this does. It's at about 77. So I also, because that seems like an awfully big difference to me, let's see what a factory brand new Yamaha, official Yamaha part. Measure the black part, 72. Measure the same spot, 77. So we don't want to mess up the squish. This squish was in really good shape on this motor. So we're going to put back on the factory gasket. I'm not going to use the Vertex base gasket because it's thicker. We're not going to do that. So we're going to use the factory base gasket with a Vertex kit. Freezing cold. Freezing cold. Line up your pins with your rings. Make sure that the writing on the rings is facing up.
Voila!
Yeah. I usually have not so much of a hard time with it. That is just a hard time when you can't feel your fingertips installing that. Alright. All that noise?
It's compression, huh?
That's compression. You hear the high pitch noise. That's the intake. Listen to the noise. Listen to the high pitch noise, right? It makes that noise.
Yeah.
That's the reeds opening and drawing air in, even though there's no compression up top. That's crankcase pressure. That's going to be a fast motor. The cylinder head was sitting on the workbench right in front of the heater. It's nice and warm.
Let me feel it!
Oh.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking for a wire brush. I love my boys. There's no father on this planet that loves their boys more than me. But let's go out and look inside of his truck. So we're putting a transmission in his truck, the one you seen me doing the burnouts on the track with. Yeah. And what did I tell you? There it is. Right there.
You need to go to the casino now.
They put their tools back all the time. So let's see if we can get this head back on. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh. Oh. Son. That I don't even have it torqued yet, and I can tell you the kind of compression it's going to have. This motor is going to be very, very, very fast. Very fast.
Damn it.
I don't think Colin will be able to kick that.
Huh?
Oh, you're kicking it. It's easy.
He'll be able to kick that.
Pushing it with your hands.
Look at how new this bike is.
Yeah, it's got some compression, bro.
Look at how new this bike is. The radiators. Look.
They're not even all bent to hell back.
I know.
I like it when you move it, so tell me how you do it. Moving to the beat, grab a kick and let's do it. I like it when you move, it's hard to fit, looking fresh. Got a pay up in my pocket and I'm ready to
bike down.
Like, try to start it?
No.
Ow. That's gonna blow my hand off.
Good. Hey, stop.
What'd you change?
No. I did the top end.
How do you like that compression, kid?
Yeah.
And your spark plug was loose. So you were losing horsepower and still beating kids.
I blew a hole in my crop from trying to kickstart my practice bike.
Dandy air filter protector pre-filter. We'll call it a pre-filter for the filtering of the bike. So you bend that up. I bend that up. I shove that filter in there. And then I go underneath. And I tuck it up there some more. So tell them what the boot's for.
So, I don't know. I think I just showed him the hole in my crock. So the other day...
You've seen my brother trying to kick my bike.
Yeah, trying to kick the bike. And me thinking I can kick my motorcycle because I've done it so many times. I kicked it the other day in a crock. And now, in my other crock, I have a hole in my crock about that big from the Kickstarter coming back up and shooting through my crock.
Ow.
Yeah, it hurt a lot.
It bruised?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it bruised the bottom of my foot.
I can't walk on it right.
That's right.
I couldn't walk on it for like 2 days, right?
It hurt so much.
Yeah.
Got the hot ding 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 ding.
That's what the boot's for.
Hopefully that piston don't come out.
Let me get back here.
You might want to open the door.
Yeah, there's gonna be some smoke.
Don't let it rest.
You ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you ready?
We're hotboxing in here, man.
How about that? First kick. First kick, fired right up. 8-year-old top end. Only had 15 hours on it, but just incredible. That's a fast bike. We'll put the head on it probably in 2 weeks, and it'll just be incredibly fast. Right now, it's going to be fast. It's going to get a lot faster.
What's up, guys? It's the camera guy.
The camera guy.
The one they always put in dangerous situations. Anyways, the boys aren't here right now. We finished the bike up. There will be a video when they go to Echoconee.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a different style because I'm not gonna be there, so they're gonna be more like vlogging and stuff. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and hit the notification bell. And if you want to see something else with a build, leave it in the comments. See you.